What's up, everybody? Welcome to Among the Fence. My name is Aaron, and it is time for New Music Friday. Going to be talking about some of the new releases coming out throughout the week of February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. Also, if you want to help me out with YouTube's algorithm and you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. It does so much. It goes so far, even for just being such a little thing. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my future New Music Friday videos, or you don't want to miss out on any album reviews, don't forget to subscribe and read the bell icon. That way you also get notifications and all that fun stuff. But moving on now, let's talk about some new music. Bleeding Through is releasing their new album titled 9. The singles for this new record have been vicious, to say the least. Musically, they have kind of a death metal melodic quality to them. The vocals are absolutely fierce. I don't know if it's going to be their angriest album, but it's definitely going to be up there. I'm very much excited for this one. We also get a new album from Blondwolf titled Noble Death. This is their debut album, and they're still fairly unknown, at least as far as I know. They do have kind of like an old school sound with their riffs. It reminds me of like Under Oath mixed with Bleed From Within, like their earlier stuff, I guess you could say. The vocals are more along the lines of Johnny Booth. Either way, I think this is going to be a really solid debut album. Definitely check them out if you haven't heard of them before. We also get a new album from Hands Like Houses titled Atmospherics. They pretty much have already released this album. If we're going to be completely honest, we just get like the last 3 songs tomorrow on the 14th or whatever. So this whole album is pretty much already out. I used to really enjoy this band, but I gotta say they haven't really aged all that well in the past decade. They sound more like Imagine Dragons than they do Hands Like Houses now. This album will probably continue that sound. It will just be really overproduced and just arena rock. We get a new EP from Volatile Ways titled Perfect Dark. Their debut album, Compendium, yeah, came out in 2023, and it was absolutely brutal. This band is super heavy, very raw. Honestly, maybe just a little bit too much for my personal taste, but that last album was only 21 minutes long, so it was doable to a point for me to still be able to enjoy it. So I have a feeling this EP is going to be perfect. I'm more or less excited to hear the crazy sounding heavy riffs that are going to be on it, because I feel like that's something this band does so well. They sound like, I don't know, the typical kind of metalcore, deathcore riffage, but it just, the tone is just so good. They perfected it. Callous Daoboys is releasing not one, but 2 singles. The first one titled Two-Headed Trout, the second one titled The Demon of Unreality, Limping Like a Dog. This is very exciting. It's been 3 years since Celebrity Therapist came out, and I know I said this about the last band, but they were just a little bit too all over the place, a little too much for me, a little bit too much noise. And because of that, halfway through, I got really tired of all the noise. But I've been listening to this band a lot lately. I've been preparing myself. I've been prepping. I've been getting into them more. That way, not only am I ready for these singles, but I feel like I'm also ready for the new album that's dropping in May. I have a feeling it's going to be a really strong album of the year contender, and I'm very much looking forward to that. Especially now, you know, I'm primed. I'm ready for this. We also get a new single from Face Yourself titled Predatory. This is a fairly new band, and they seem to do everything right. In terms of deathcore, they also have a female vocalist who has insanely nasty growls. It's fantastic. And they kind of classify themselves as having MySpace deathcore qualities, which I enjoy a lot. I know a lot of people who are into the newer style of deathcore might not enjoy it all that much, but for someone like me, an old folk, I feel like this is going to be nasty as heck. Definitely check them out if you haven't heard of them before. And we get a new single from the Wonder Years titled Junebug. Their last album was just, it was so good. And I hope they could keep that going. It was more mature than their past stuff, but it was still just fun pop punk. Something that I feel like is really hard to do for just a pop punk band is to sound more mature. I feel like a lot of bands in this genre get stuck singing about the same thing, and it's especially like their first album. If they've been around for a long time, their first album came out 15 years ago. We don't need to continually hear about their same problem. It's like they just can't get over it, and it's like the subject just never changes for them. And the Wonder Years really brought that to the spotlight in this album, and they did such a good job on it. And honestly, I don't really care that much for their singles, so I'm probably not going to listen to this until the full album comes out. That way I give it a chance in the full context. I'm not really a single kind of guy anyways. I'm more of a full album. So while I'm excited for this, I'm probably, I got to skip over it because I don't want to dislike it before the album even comes out. We also get a new single from Pelican titled Cascading Crescent. I am so stoked for this. One of my friends, some time ago, 2 or 3 years ago, something like that, he gifted me all of his vinyls, and he had an extensive Pelican collection. Extensive. It was like 3 or 4 albums from them, and I absolutely fell in love with them. And it's been 6 years since they've released anything, and I guess you could, I don't know, it's been 6 years since they've released anything, but I wasn't a fan of theirs back then, so I'm like a new fan, I guess. So I'm excited to experience some new music as a new fan from them. All their old stuff is just fantastic. I can't get enough of it. This is a single I will be listening to, and yeah, this is it. If you haven't heard of this band and you're into kind of like instrumental post kind of stuff, definitely check them out as well. And that is it for New Music Friday. If there's anything that I missed, leave a comment below letting me know what it is, so me and everybody else can discover some new music. And while you're down there, don't forget to let me know what you want me to review next. And if you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a like. If you want to help support me and my channel, please feel free to subscribe and ring the bell icon. Like I said before, doing any of that stuff helps me out tremendously. I hate asking people to like and subscribe because it's just so corny. But sometimes people forget, you know, and they're like, man, what happened to that Among the Fins channel that I used to watch? And it's been like 5 years since they've seen any of my videos because they never liked anything or subscribed or any of that stuff. So yeah, please don't forget to do that, especially if you want to continue to see my stuff. It does a lot. And I just thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to listen to me sit here and talk about music. And I hope you have a good rest of your day or night, whenever you have me watching this. And I'll talk to you guys next time.